A comparison, face-to-face and online learning environments. I'm Lisa Moser, doctorate student in education and instructional technology at Kennesaw State University. This investigation reflects differences in student achievement between traditional face-to-face learning and online learning. Academic student achievement in physical science was statistically compared, and findings from the investigation were overall similar for both learning environments. In Georgia, physical science is a required credited course for high school graduation. For this investigation, student non-identifiable science data for end-of-course test assessment for face-to-face and online were compared. Data from the 2008-2009 school year reflects 73,000 students tested. 67% passed. Of the tested students, 34,400 were African Americans, and 55% of the African American student population passed. According to the selected county school website, the student population was largely African American, about 70%, 12% Hispanic, and 11% white. 9 of the county's high schools had students enrolled in the county's online program. Brownstein stated in a comparative assessment no significant differences were indicated in online learning and that of face-to-face. Kavanaugh, using a meta-analysis, indicated that online learning was equal to academic achievement of traditional instruction for K-12 levels. Yurtel assessed the coursework from 269 university students enrolled in the distant education section and 116 enrolled in face-to-face sections. The results indicated a statistically significant difference in final grades favoring face-to-face. With the state and national education leadership advocating for higher student achievement in math and science to maintain global competitiveness, some see online classes as a necessary tool. In July 2012, state legislation was passed to provide online access to all students in the state of Georgia. The legislation directed the State Board of Education to maximize the number of students who use digital learning in some capacity to complete high school coursework. Districts must allow students to take online courses even if the face-to-face classes are offered at the local schools. The following research questions were addressed. Will the findings of this study indicate that high school students achieve higher test scores from learning content online compared to student learning content in the traditional face-to-face environment? Are there differences in achievement among the physical science content domains? There are 4 content domains in physical science, 2 in chemistry, and 2 in physics. This statistical analysis of student achievement in physical science compared student scores from 2 learning environments. The EOCT scores for physical science served as the unit of measurement for student achievement. Online and face-to-face participants were tested in the 4 EOCT domain strains of physical science. Administered after completion of the physical science class, the EOCT provides test scores that average into the class grade as a weight of 15% of the final course grade. According to the county's website, the EOCT tests provided scores that reflected student achievement levels and were based on internal consistency measures. The KR20 has a high reliability range. The state of Georgia considers this instrument reliable for measuring student achievement levels in the 4 domains of physical science content. Participants were from a north-central Georgia county. Students, a total of 1,112 from 9 high schools, composed the 2 student groups. The groups were based on participation in physical science and enrolled in either online or face-to-face classes. In addition to having completed a physical science course, selected students took and scored on the physical science EOCT. De-identifiable data were obtained from a county research department. The online participant population determined the online sample size of the first group. The face-to-face participants composed the second group. The second group was composed of all of the students from the same 9 high schools that took physical science in face-to-face classes. The EOCT assessment scores, according to the county's website, have a reliable and creditable history. The EOCT is administered after completion of the physical science class. Test scores are ranked as scores below 400 does not meet expectations. Scores from 400 to 449 meets expectations. And scores at or above 450 exceeds expectations. To be graded meets expectations, a student must apply knowledge and skills learned in the 4 domains of physical science. Student achievement, as interpreted by the EOCT scores, was analyzed by using independent sample t-tests to determine significant differences in mean EOCT scores. Significant differences in achievement between student groups were indicated at a p-value of significance. T-tests showed that the mean EOCT score in physical science for the face-to-face group was 412.95. The online physical science group had a mean EOCT score of 395.88. This is not a significant difference. Further examination of EOCT scores at each grade level, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, did indicate significant differences between the 2 groups. The additional independent sample t-test also revealed a pattern in student achievement. The mean scores for the face-to-face 10th, 11th, and 12th grade levels were above a score of 400. These findings suggest differences in the subject domains at each grade level were possible. Looking at the mean physical science end of course test scores. 9th grade face-to-face 385, online 393. 10th face-to-face 418, online 375. 11th 408, online 400. 12th face-to-face 427, online 408. Again, the overall score for face-to-face 413, online 396. This physics domain has a raw score of 12, looking at energy. Face-to-face scored 6276 as an average score for the group, online 7. 10th grade, chemistry, atomic, face-to-face 8.99, online 6.36. This is a significant difference. Achievement of face-to-face. Looking at the 11th grade group, a significant difference for physics, face-to-face 7.76, online 7.5. The raw score of 10. A significant difference. Additional analysis of both student groups for 12th grade did not indicate any significant differences. There is a pattern. We are looking at possibly raw scores that are indicating face-to-face slightly higher as a pattern. But again, no significant differences were shown for the 12th grade group. The interpretation of the findings support the need for additional research to determine differences between the 2 learning groups. Neither environment was indicative of superior statistical patterns, and these differences in student achievement, again, are not significant. A broader collection of data for this type of comparison would bring about clarity and reliability with findings, and such is suggested. Online learning is a large addition to the learning model, and my reason for selecting this research topic is that I expect and desire more performance from this expensive virtual environment. Learners require diverse learning experiences, and with virtual classes having the ability to reach beyond physical barriers, it should also reign superior in student performance. The expense to maintain virtual learning should demand that it be the superior learning model, or at least the very least an immediate goal. Digital learners have the ability to communicate around the world, and their educations should also enable them to be a global people. My hope is that online learning will be an option that bridges the gap for many students that desire an appropriate learning route to graduation. This brief investigation suggested that more research is needed to determine possible differences in learning gains between online and face-to-face models. My efforts to pursue this topic are encouraged by these findings, and I intend to revisit this research topic. I hope to improve upon validity and reliability of this comparison using a statistically comparison method for a larger collection of sample data from an extended period of time. I'm Lisa Moser at Comparison Face-to-Face and Online Learning Environments. Thank you.